We're good.
I call to order this meeting of the Warren County School Board for Wednesday, April the 5th, 2017. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. The first item on the agenda is to accept or modify the agenda. Is there a motion?
Madam Chairman, I would move that we accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Community participation. Is there anyone who would like to address the board? Consent agenda. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Madam Chairman, I would move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Reports. Instruction report. Ms. Rudisil.
Good evening.
Hi.
Read to Them is a nonprofit organization promoting family literacy. Their mission is to create a culture of literacy in every home. They do this by helping schools implement a program called One School, One Book. This program encourages and enables reading together at home by providing every school with tools, resources, guidance, and support. Hilda J. Barber, under the leadership of Ms. Joey Waters, has kept the goal of family literacy at the forefront of their efforts for many years. The One School, One Book program is one more example of their commitment to that effort. So I'm pleased to have Ms. Joey Waters, the principal, and Mrs. Jill Harold, their Title I reading teacher, here to talk to you about One School, One Book.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
For all the years of talking to you, I'm nervous.
What?
But we're going to stand over here so we don't have our back to people, and we have a slideshow. We could not bring the hamster, the giant hamster, and all the projects for you tonight, but we have a visual representation of them for you. We, Jill, Harold, myself, Allison Cusado is our tech teacher, and our librarian, Bridget Fultz, who couldn't be here tonight, had read about this, and we always have a big reading month in February. We love to read month because it's just one of the things we do to get kids to love to read, enjoy reading, to be great readers. And generally, we've had a contest of some kind. They've read all kinds of different books and earned points, and it gets a little complicated tracking all that. We read about this program and decided, well, let's try it. But it's a little challenging finding a book that you're going to use K through 5. I read it and I thought, this is going to work because the parents are going to like it. It was cute, it was funny, good story, and I knew I saw lots of second and third and fourth graders walking around with it. So kindergarten, and it's a read aloud program. It's designed to be read aloud. So we thought we were in the right ballpark, and we found out that it definitely was a home run. Can not hear it?
Now you're nervous.
Okay. The goal, kind of as Lisa said, was to encourage family engagement through a special read aloud time together as a family and working together on special projects. So they not only read aloud together, but they created things together. We started off with a daytime kickoff. It started on January the 18th and ran through February the 17th. We had a big assembly to introduce the kids. You can see the teachers had ears on. I wasn't brave enough to wear my ears tonight. But the kids were dressed up. Some of them had hamster ears on, and they learned all about the program, what they were getting. They each got a bag that looks like this with a book and a bookmark and their own journal to complete that had calendars and activities for the parents And then they earned a prize if they completed the whole journal, and we got lots of great entries from kindergarten through fifth grade where they wrote about each chapter and answered questions. We had writing contests, but they really did a really great job on this. One of my teachers, Mr. Vito, acted out one of the scenes from the book. There's a custodian named Aldo who is throughout the book, and he did a whole reenactment of that in front of the kids to get them excited about the book and the characters. And that's just a shot of the kids that day. And then they learned the hamster dance. Even the teachers over there, you can see them getting in the act. It's pretty fun.
Can you show that to us?
Bring the music. And then that night, that very same night, we had family night kickoff, and the kids were very excited. I think we had 166 kids come back that night with their parents. And so it was a huge turnout. And we had activities for the kids, and then all the parents met in the cafeteria and had a little lesson on how to do the read aloud and about what was in the packet in the program and websites they could get to. We had recorded the book chapter by chapter. Each teacher had read a chapter, so that's on our website. They could get to it if they had no other way to get it read to the kid. They could use the website. But one of the famous activities was in the gym. We made a human hamster maze that they got to crawl through and jump over. It was a big, big hit. Another activity was in the art room. They got to learn how to draw a hamster, and they made hamster masks. We had the computer lab set up with hamster videos. We had a video from the author, Betty Burney, who she sent to us to introduce the book. And they got to see her website and learn about how they could make their own hamster video if they wanted to. And there was dancing, more hamster dancing in the library.
Love that hamster.
And there's our giant hamster, Humphrey J. Barber.
Oh, Humphrey.
He was on hand in the library. He would greet the kids.
And hand out signatures.
Oh, yes, he had his autograph. He had autographed cards to give them. And we took pictures of every child there. They got their own picture with Humphrey. And they got to meet our real Humphrey, our little hamster that's in the library now. And as I said, that was in the packet. There was the book and the journal and activity directions, calendars, everything they needed. And we're a school-wide Title I school, so we were able to pay for this using Title I money. That was something that we put in our proposal last year so that we were able to buy every child a book. And they each got their own book. Even if there was more than one child in the family, we decided they each needed their own book, and that worked out really well.
And if someone lost their packet, we also put all this information on a website online, so it was accessible to anybody.
Yeah, everything. We tried to make it totally accessible. And then there were prizes for all the different projects that we had out there. And we thought it was going to be great to auction off or win the hamster at the end, the one from the library. The parents So we went to stuffed hamsters, but we heard there really was a run on hamsters at PetSmart. They were out of them for a while. Still, there was a lot of hamsters. But we had to create a pet poster project that we'll show you in a second. Dress Like a Hamster Day was really popular. We had hamsters all over the school. They could bring a Humphrey snack every Friday, and we encouraged healthy celery and carrots and things that hamsters like. They were able to construct a Humphrey home or a maze, and this was just unbelievable, the projects we got, from out of a cardboard box to these huge fancy wooden mazes. And then we tested the hamster, and most of them. The hamster pretty much gave up after a while.
For a while, he started to protest, he
Wanna
tried
come
to
out of the
hide
cage.
in his tunnel, yeah.
But they kept the journal, and we had a writing contest. And there he was running from the maze. Dress Like a Hamster Day, we had prizes for that at all different grade levels, but the kids really had fun. The poster contest, we had those all over the building, and we did a survey at the very end, and the parents told us what they liked, didn't like, what their favorite activities were, and a lot of them picked the pet poster, because it was something families really could do together, and they created it many different ways. There's more of them. And then Create a Hamster Habitat or Maze was also very popular, of every different size and shape, from every super creative ways they came up with to make the hamster habitats. And there was a prize for every grade level, right? One per grade level, one per grade level. Got prizes. But mansions and little boxes and there's the big wooden one. That one was just amazing. And then, we have one to show you in action, the test. Two-story.
Making the bed.
Hamsters are cute.
He really are. He tried to nibble on everything as he went around, and occasionally tried to move to another floor on his own, and then was pushed back into his place. There he goes.
Like a dog.
The kids really had fun testing out all the houses and the mazes. It really was. And we concluded this at our book fair night, and we had all the projects on display, all the journals, anything that had been done, so all the parents could come back and see everyone's. And the giant hamster was back, and fun was had by all. And now Humphrey's relaxed. Hangs out in the library.
No longer psychotic.
The mazes are gone. He does kind of look at you funny if you open the cage. Where are we going?
That's all.
Did I forget anything? We did bring, we had hoped that we could talk to you while this was going on and bring you your own copy. So if you would like one, or you have a grandchild you would like to read, it's a really fun little book.
Sure, thank you.
And it's a quick read.
That's what I like.
Yeah, the grandkids will like that. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
it's a series, there's like 12
Yeah.
more, and it's so that we, the kids that liked it, it's fun to get them hooked on a series. Thank you. So that they can
Continue on.
keep reading.
Great.
So
What's that?
we hope to do it again. The problem will be finding a book that was as successful as this one to fit a K through 5. So we're already kind of on the hunt for that just right book. So it was all in all a very successful project. And I just wanted to mention one more thing while we're just talking about instruction. I don't know if you all got to see something we did 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago. The NVD did a lovely article, full page. We had 15 to 20 master gardeners at Hilda Barber, and we did what we call an in-house field trip. Now, it was an experiment for the master gardeners, of which I am one. We were going to do it after school, one class at a time, and my third grade teachers came up with the idea, why don't we do an in-house field trip, and every kid gets to participate. And good idea. And the master gardener said, yeah, that's a good idea. It's a lot of work, and it was a grand experiment, but the master gardeners and also Mr. Jay Pinsky, who's from the Lord Fairfax Soil and Water Conservation District, he writes an article every week in the NBD, and he was there, he was our opening speaker, and he helped with one of the workshops on water, and he wrote his whole article, The Green Thumb Army, that showed up at Hilda Barber, and also it was in the Sentinel. But they had classes on soil, water conservation, germination, propagation, pollination. They planted, they were scientists, and it went all day from morning till they got on the buses. And it truly was fabulous. And the reaction from the kids, I read letters today from them, and they were citing what they learned in every class and how great it was and how they want to do it. They hope they do it again. So we shall see. As I said, it was an experiment, but it went really well, bringing community members, well, this is a 5-county group of community members into a school, which they hope they can duplicate at other schools now that we've tried it, that other people will say, we want to try this too. But it really was a great experience for all of us. But But thank you for the time tonight, and letting us share a little bit about what we're doing.
Thank you, and I think that's a great idea, the in-house field trips. It would be a good idea to investigate what other types of field trips can be
That's what we
done
were
that
thinking
way.
too, that, bring them into the school.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about transportation and all the,
And it was no cost.
What's that?
that's great. Thank you.
That's true. You should ask that question.
What's that?
Where the hamster goes this summer.
Oh, yes, who gets to keep the hamster over the summer?
That is up for debate.
Principal Waters,
Isn't it?
with the power of the internet now, we were able to find a YouTube song. And, I mean, we'd be glad to play it for you.
Come down here and do it.
I don't want to embarrass everybody.
For another time.
Oh, that's great.
Superintendent report.
Well, that was great, Mrs. Waters. Thank you very much, and Hilda Barber for all the work that you did. And we really didn't try this evening with Joey here this evening. She is on, as we know, to her next thing in life. She's not saying retirement. She's on for her next learning experience. So she has been at the school. Is it since 1998? 90.
15 years. I was at the second
Okay.
year. I wasn't there the first 2 years.
First year, okay, so 1999. Okay, wow. So, and it's been principal since 2002, and is
Old guy that was principal before.
some old guy was the principal.
All right, is it?
But has done a wonderful job. And I'm also pleased tonight to also introduce to you the next principal of Hilda Barber, who's sitting right out here in the audience. If you wave, Amanda, this is Amanda Roller, and just welcome her. She is coming from Shenandoah County, where she's currently the principal at Peter Muhlenberg Middle School. And so she has got a lot of elementary experience as a reading lab teacher, gate teacher, has had a lot of experience, like 22 years? Is that 20?
Currently my 23rd year.
23rd year, okay. So we welcome you and glad you're a part of our team.
I am too.
All right, so, couple other things, just things going on. Skyline High School seniors Seth Gillespie and Nick Kays came in first in their state championship for the state forensics in the 3A humorous duo. We have a two-time former state champion, Dan Kurzenabe, who placed second, and we have two other seniors, Sarah Chichester, who you'll remember coming and speaking to us, and Jake Reed placed third. So very good to those students. We just received a $37,500 grant for career and technical education equipment, and we'll be getting a virtual welder. I cannot wait to see what that, I can play with that, and a plasma table. So that'll be pretty neat. Ressie Jeffries did a Saturday on March 25th called Donuts for Donations as they're working on their playground. And I believe they raised $1,500, something like that. So congratulations to you guys. We're also excited that one of our nurses, Nurse DeWicki, who is at Skyline High School, will be receiving the Education Hero Award from the American Red Cross. She was able to, fortunately, save a student's life that had gone into shock after having an allergic reaction at school. And so for that, she's getting an award. We're very happy about that. Our middle school 7th grade concert band, our 8th grade Skyline concert band, our Warren County High School Symphonic Band, and our Skyline High School Symphonic Band all earned superior ratings at their recent events. So we are really knocking it out of the park with band here. It's pretty neat. The DECA group, which is the group that deals with business, entrepreneurship, things like that, went to the state conference. And we had one student, Kazmeli Sandoval, place as a finalist. So that was pretty good for the first time being down there. Remind everybody that March is the nomination month for Warren County High School Sweeney Shiflett Athletic Hall of Fame. So if you had any nominations, I hope you got them in. That's coming up. And let's see, our spring sports are underway. just like to remind everybody, our schools support many of the community leagues as well. It's not just our own school leagues. So community uses our facilities, and we also encourage organizations like Special Olympics to use our facilities as well. So that's a nice thing. SOL tests are starting here fairly soon. You'll see that in May. I just wanted to mention that now. Advanced placement tests, our AP tests are gearing up. And then 2 dates to put out in front of everybody is our baccalaureate service is May 28th at 6 o'clock. You'll hear more about that. And both graduations for Warren County and Skyline are on June 3rd. So I just would like to end this evening with kind of an interesting thing. When we talk about budget, I try to always keep in mind those 400 kindergartners that are coming to us, where they get started, and that's what we focus on. Well, at the end of that journey, we kind of hope kids are getting ready to do the next thing, and I kind of have a neat letter. This is from Mr. Wolford, who is the president of a electrical company in Culpeper, and he's writing Mike Abel, who is our electricity teacher at Blue Ridge Tech Center. And he's thanking Mr. Abel. He says, after last year, you certainly proved your eye for good employees. Apparently he recommended a couple of kids to go work for somebody. Dimitri has excelled, become quite a resource to our company, and Julian has done well too. Dimitri will be making over $40,000 next year. That's base pay. With that being said, I'm interested in all 5 of your prospective employees if they meet your criteria. So we've got a business guy asking one of our teachers if they meet his criteria, he'll take them. So I talked to Mike about that. He says it's great. So pretty neat that we have kids walking right out of high school, able to get really good jobs. It's a nice thing. So we can kind of see it full circle, kindergarten through 12th grade.
That's nice.
So that's all I have.
Thank you. School board reports. Mr. Williams?
Just 2 things. Everybody knows spring break starts the 7th and ends the 17th. And I was able to go to a musical Mr. Martin put together at A.S. Rhodes the other night. The guy is phenomenal, how excited he gets, and the kids get right there with him, and it was a good time. That's all I have.
That's good. Thank you. Mr. Rosen?
Just one minor thing y'all forgot. One of my sons and his family live in Richmond. They went on vacation, and the hamster got out and built a home in their stereo system, which he blamed me for, but I tell him, that's all.
Mrs. McEthron?
No report really, but if Humphrey needs a home, just let me know.
I sort of had that
I'm
feeling.
already worried about him already.
I had a feeling that
I
was
was trying
coming.
to catch a duck this evening, and that didn't work out, so maybe, just let me know.
Mr. Wells?
Really no report, it's just always interesting to come and get the whole gamut, like Mr. Drescher says, from the youngsters and the kindergarten folks all the way up to our graduates, and knowing that our graduates are doing what we hope we do, going out into the workforce and finding something almost immediately. That's really great. And if Humphrey needs a home, call Miss McKeithen.
Just don't tell him what happened.
My report, I had the opportunity to attend the Mountain Vista Governor School Shrimp Fest last weekend, and that was very nice. Unfortunately, our table, which usually wins the trivia contest because of Mrs. Sharefko, they made the questions much harder this year, and it was quite humbling. Also, I had the opportunity to be one of the judges for the Sodexo-sponsored Future Chefs competition a few weeks ago, and that was really nice. These kids do a great job in the kitchen. The food was wonderful. Didn't have to have dinner that night. All the samples were quite filling, and we had a good time with that. Next on the agenda, action agenda, tiered school starts. Mr. Drescher.
All right. We have been discussing tiered school starts for several months, and this evening is the evening that we'd like to make a decision on it. Just like to give a little background. We have 2 basic reasons that we're looking at tiered starts. The first one being budget and financial. Current number of buses will soon not be able to keep up with the demands of transportation. The most immediate demand is the opening of the new middle school. If we keep our current school start schedule, we'll need additional buses and additional drivers, costing close to $250,000. And in a very tight budget year, that is a significant amount of money. It's also due to budget constraints for the past number of years. Has not allowed us to replace buses on the recommended years, and currently we have 16 buses that are at their recommended limit. I would remind everybody that all buses are safe. They are reviewed every 45 days, and they're safe on the road, but they're past their recommended limit. So that's a significant thing. Tiered starts would reduce the total number of buses needed, meaning the current fleet would last a few more years. The second reason is student ride and wait times. We currently have 27 bus runs over 60 minutes, and the max ride time is roughly 96 minutes. Currently, students begin getting off buses 45 to 50 minutes before school actually starts, and some wait that amount of time after school. So those are the reasons that we've taken a look at tiered starts. We've made several presentations here. We've had a survey that's been posted online where we've had close to 1,000 individuals responding. And I've also gotten, I would say, 100 emails that I've personally answered just about questions. And that's what most of it have been, is questions about what the tiered starts are. Administrative team from all the schools and at central office have met numerous times to discuss what the advantages, disadvantages, and compelling reasons about who should start first. And there are valid reasons for either elementary to start first or for middle and high school to start first. And at some point, I need to make a recommendation, so I'm going to. My recommendation is for middle and high school to have the 8 a.m. start time and elementary to have the 9 a.m. start time. It's based on these things. First, the time difference from what is currently in place to this new proposal is less in that scenario. There's only a 15-minute difference from the current elementary start time of 8:45 to 9, so it's small. Research on teenage sleep patterns supports later school start times. 8 a.m. is on the early side of that later time, but in comparison to schools that are starting around 7 o'clock, that 8 o'clock time still, I think, meets the later start time. So even though it is earlier than we would really like. The second reason is the student involvement with sports and activities at school is greater at the secondary level. And getting out at 2:35 does give more flexibility to those activities. Both high schools polled their students, and the number of students that work is significant. And so this will give more opportunity to work after school. And some families depend on that work. And then D, the final reason I'm making this recommendation is that when we polled our community, a greater number of the community did suggest that scenario of elementary starting at 9 and middle and high school starting at 8. So that is my recommendation. And I guess I leave it to you if you have questions or.
I just appreciate all the work you did in putting all this information together and doing the polling and talking with the community. I think that validates a lot of this. So.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The transparency into the community and the kids, everybody was given an opportunity to make input. And
1,000
Greg,
people.
yeah, and Greg, you and your staff did a super job in allowing the information to help us make a final decision based on your recommendations. Good job.
And as you acknowledged several times, it's not going to be perfect day one. There are going to be some hiccups, and we're ready to work with that and to work with it. But to me, the biggest thing is that reduction in time on the bus.
Yeah.
It just kind of gets away from you, and you just don't realize.
Is there a motion?
Sure. I move that Warren County Public Schools implement a tiered school start and end time process, being middle and high schools begin at 8 a.m. and end at 2:35 p.m. and elementary schools begin at 9 a.m. and end at 3:35 p.m., effective with the 2017-2018 school year.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Now, you guys will have, tomorrow morning, you'll have the routes all worked out so people can call.
I think Mr. Mitchell's working on that, but I don't see him out. Oh, there he is. I didn't recognize the haircut.
But they, folks will begin fairly soon.
I don't know if we
to be
have
able-
it, go ahead.
We're looking, for the general public, we're gonna say May 1st. We're probably realistically, in our beta version, if not tomorrow, over spring break. And then we're gonna take a week or two after spring break to do our beta tests and reviews, to make sure the data we're putting out there is accurate. But, we're also gonna kind of denote that it's gonna change, as we're anticipating an increase in ridership. Stuff will change, and we're gonna do all calls and remind folks, beginning or before school starts, hey, let's go back and revisit, make sure you're rechecking your time, and then we're ready. We've been a long time preparing for this.
So parents are going to be able to access all that information online? Okay,
May 1st.
that's good.
The actual drop-off times for the 8 o'clock start for middle and high school, it will be somewhere between 7 and 7:15 is when doors will open for the school. We have not come to a tight conclusion on that. And then for elementary school, it'll probably be at 8:15. So the same amount of time that has now, 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's for staff and students?
For staff and students. And for the drop-off times for the buses, it's about a 20-minute window. So that we'll start getting buses there about 20 minutes before school starts, and that's really gonna help the school have a smoother start to the beginning of the day. So, but we know those are some of those flexible things that we know we're going to need to work through and figure out how it works for each school. So, but many school divisions do this. We're confident we'll figure it out.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right.
VSBA Business Honor Roll, Mr. Drescher.
Local businesses have the power to shape community attitudes about public schools, and the VSBA Honor Roll is a way for local school divisions to recognize local businesses for their support, especially as schools face increasing budget uncertainties. The Business Honor Roll helps divisions say thank you to their vital contributions. The VSBA Honor Roll was the initiative of past VSBA president and former Warren County School Board member Roy Boyles. This year's recipients are Klein Construction Incorporated, Fox's Pizza Den, and the Warren County Sheriff's Office. Their names will be submitted to the Virginia School Boards Association for inclusion on this year's statewide honor roll, and the recipients will then be recognized at the May 3rd, 2017 Warren County School Board meeting. And what we have is a resolution that it would be good to maybe read the resolution, but we don't have to read it 3 times. You
Okay.
could just say it's for all 3, yeah.
You want me to read that?
Sure.
Okay. Resolution 2017 Virginia School Boards Association Business Honor Roll. Whereas public schools and local businesses are an integral part of this community, and whereas many local businesses play a crucial role in supporting our schools, and whereas the economic health of our community, state, and nation depends on a strong public school system, and whereas collaboration between local public schools and local businesses strengthens schools and the business community alike by providing a well-trained and highly educated workforce, and whereas an excellent public school system is vital to the quality of life in this community and fundamental to preserving a strong democratic society now and in the future, therefore be it resolved that the Warren County School Board names Warren County Sheriff's Office, Fox's Pizza Den, and Klein Construction Incorporated to the 2017 Virginia School Boards Association Business Honor Roll, showing appreciation for the organization's ongoing support of this community's public schools. Your work has aided this community in focusing on the goal of providing the best public schools we can for every child who attends them.
Very nice.
And we'll be doing that at the May meeting.
At the May meeting,
Presentation.
we'll make sure they're here to hand awards to.
Okay, great, thank you. Acceptance of donation, Mr. Drescher.
Mr. and Mrs. Hugh Millar have donated a piano that will be used at the new Warren County Middle School. We're very happy to receive it.
Thank you. Acceptance of Warren County's Power Station Scholarship. Mr. Fox.
Probably need to do a motion on that.
What's it? Oh, I'm sorry. Just a moment, Mr. Fox. Okay, Mr. Wells, would you like to?
I move the donation of a piano to the new Warren County Middle School by Mr. and Mrs. Hugh Millar be accepted with gratitude.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. What was that, Mr. Rosen?
No.
Okay, now, Mr. Fox, acceptance of Warren County Power Station Scholarship.
Good evening. Earlier, Suzanne Klein, the assistant principal at Skyline High School and the scholarship coordinator, was contacted by Crystal Cap, who is the process assistant for the Warren County Power Plant. They would like to offer a $500 scholarship to a Warren County High School and a Skyline High School senior looking to enter a workforce solution program. And if you look at the website for what some of these programs are, electricity, plumbing, gas fitting, dental care, industrial maintenance, construction, HVAC, welding, truck driving, is just all the things that we would say, listening to Mr. Drescher earlier, that would lead to a nice career for one of our students. This $500 scholarship will go to Workforce Solution Program or a trade school program.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Yeah, just to clarify, is this from Dominion Power?
This
Who's
is
Power it
presenter?
up.
the Warren County Power Plant, is what I understand, and the information that I have.
And Mr. Fox, is it and Warren County and Skyline, or is it Warren County or Skyline?
Warren County and Skyline High School.
Because in ours it says or.
Yeah, it says so it is both. Okay.
That is the way I understand it, yes.
That motion's
I
not-
apologize. I apologize, I transcribed that incorrectly. It says graduating from Warren County High School or Skyline.
Or Skyline, so it's
Just
just
Warren.
one scholarship to be
Yes,
offered to.
I apologize.
That's okay.
Nice catch, Mr. Williams.
Okay. Okay. Any other comments on that? Can you ad-lib that motion? It's not complete on here. Yeah, it's not complete.
Madam Chairman, I move that the acceptance of the Warren County Power Station Scholarship as presented.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Fox. Stay where you are. Approval of Acorn scholarships.
The Acorn Scholarship is a bit more mysterious, but I'll read you what I know about this.
It is
The Acorn Scholarship provides 2 scholarships of $10,000 for freshman and sophomore year, which is up to $5,000 each, at a college or university, $500 for books for each of the 4 semesters. This is 2 scholarships for a Skyline High School student. And a little bit more that I've learned about this. ACORN is not an acronym. From what I understand, it says it's something small that could grow into something very large. And this is offered by a family in the Charlottesville area that wishes to remain anonymous. They are working through something called the Charlottesville Community Foundation. They typically work with schools in the Charlottesville area, Orange. But they do have a family connection with a Skyline High School faculty member. And so this connection has brought it up into the valley. The 2 $10,000 scholarships would be decided upon by a 4-person committee at Skyline High School.
Okay, and the $500 book stipend, is that in addition to that scholarship?
I believe that's part of.
Part
the-
of that, so
yes.
$500 of that is to go to books. Okay, nice. Sure.
I move that the Warren County School Board accept the Acorn Scholarship with much gratitude.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. Approval of paid school meals prices for 2017-18. Mrs. Shepherd.
First, let me apologize for the number of items I have on the agenda tonight.
I saw that stack of papers you brought.
Come and camp out.
I hope you don't fall asleep.
25 words or less.
The Healthy, Hungry, Free Kids Act of 2010 requires school divisions participating in the National School Lunch Program to ensure sufficient funds are provided to account for meals served to students not eligible for free or reduced price meals. Schools charging less than $2.86 for paid lunches are required to adjust the full meal price to cover the difference or use non-federal funds in lieu of raising paid lunch prices. Warren County Public Schools' current lunch price for elementary students is $2 and $2.10 for middle and high school students. Based on the food service fund balance, we recommend keeping the paid lunch prices the same for the 2017-18 school year. Funds provided from the state for the school breakfast and lunch program will be utilized to ensure sufficient funds are provided for meals served to students not eligible for free or reduced price meals. Be happy to try to answer any questions.
Any discussion or questions? I think it's nice that we can keep our prices low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to surrounding counties, I think we do a really good job.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion. I move paid school lunch price remain at $2 for elementary schools and $2.10 for middle and high schools for the 2017-2018 school year.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of food service management company agreement. Mrs. Shepherd.
Thank you. On November 5th, 2014, the Warren County School Board entered into an agreement with Sodexo America, LLC, to manage the food service operations of the school division. This agreement was renewed for the 2015-16 and 2016-17 school year and will expire on June 30th, 2017. The agreement contains a clause that allows it to be renewed annually for 4 additional one-year periods upon the mutual consent of both parties. The recommendation is to renew the contract with Sodexo an additional one-year period beginning July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2018. The cost increase for the 2017-18 school year will be 1% for the general support services, which will increase $1,482.83, and 1% for the management fee, which will increase $1,204.80. The general support services fee will be $149,765.83, and the management fee will be $121,684.80. This is the first price increase in 2 years. The agreement with Sodexo includes the following: $175,000 guaranteed return, $6,000 annual scholarship, $6,500 for the backpack program, $2,500 grant to introduce new programs to Warren County. Sodexo will continue to promote healthy eating for students and staff and create menus which are compliant with the Healthy, Hunger-Free Kids Act. They will serve fresh fruits and vegetables daily and purchase locally grown ingredients when available. Sodexo will continue to train the food service employees on proper handling of food, customer service, and safety. I'll be happy to answer any questions, and our expert Sue Ann is here with us tonight as well.
Any questions for her? No?
Don't have any questions, just a comment that this is one of our bigger success stories over the year. I think I think they've done an excellent job. They've allowed us to keep our food prices and our meal prices low, and they have, through some of the changes at the federal level about what you have to serve, what you can't serve, what you can't serve, they sort of took that off of our concern. We're just able to to do what we do and allow them to do what they do. So with that, I'll make a motion that I move upon approval of the proposed agreement renewal by the Virginia Department of Education, the superintendent be authorized to sign the proposed Sodexo Food Service Management Agreement Amendment Renewal 3 for the 2017-2018 school year and accept any administrative non-material changes as required by the Virginia Department of Education.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank
Thank you. And just one more comment. Our great success with Sodexo has a lot to do with the manager that they have in place, Ms. Fox. So we're lucky to have her. and we're
you.
great
We'll
that
all
she's
agree
with
to
us.
that.
Yeah, we don't. Next time you could bring key lime pie, though.
Yes, yes.
Now. Approval of custodial services.
Thank you.
Track, sorry.
On January 1st, 2015, Warren County Public Schools entered into an agreement with GCA Education Services to provide custodial services for all Warren County Public Schools. The agreement contains a clause that allows the agreement to be renewed annually for 4 additional one-year periods upon the mutual consent of both parties. Warren County Public Schools renewed the contract with GCA Services for the 2016-17 school year. The recommendation is to renew the contract with GCA Services again for the 2017-18 school year. GCA has agreed to keep the cost the same as the 2016-17 school year for all existing buildings. The only cost increase will be to add custodial services for the new Warren County Middle School. The contract price for July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2018 will be $1,959,502.80, which includes $175,559 for custodial services for the new middle school. The contract price shall be paid in 12 monthly installments of $163,291.90. At the work session in March, one of the questions asked were how many of our custodial employees stayed with us, and it was 29 custodial employees stayed out of the 51, which is almost 57%. So we have a little over half of the same custodial personnel that we had before GCA took over the company. Some have left and come back. But
Also.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Be happy to answer any questions.
I'm pleased with the work they've done. When I go into the schools, everything looks really nice.
If we have an issue, they're on top of it. I can email or text or call, and they've, within an hour, they've taken care of it, so.
That's great.
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
Madam Chairman, I move approval be given for the superintendent to sign the amendment to the service agreement with GCA Education Services Incorporated to extend custodial services from July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2018 in the amount of $1,959,502.80.
Second.
All those in favor, aye? Motion carries. Do you need a chair or anything?
I was just thinking maybe water. No, I'm good.
Approval of expenditure over $15,000 for new middle school science equipment.
Thank you. The administrative team in the science department for the new middle school would like to request purchasing science equipment for the science curriculum. Their recommendation is to purchase the science equipment from Word Science in the amount of $25,785.88. 5 quotes were received, and Word Science provided the lowest cost with no substitutions. And Ms. Gubler is here, so if we have any questions, she'll be happy to answer them.
Is this consistent with what we have at the current Warren County Middle School?
It is.
Okay.
It is. And actually, Warren County Middle School and the 8th grade students at Warren County High School and Skyline High School, so it has microscopes, and I noticed there were some rock collections in there as well. So it will be the equipment that they need for 6 through 8 science.
Okay. Great.
Question was, would it encompass the 8th graders? as
Yes.
well? Okay.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I move approval be given to purchase science equipment for the new middle school from Ward Science in the amount of $25,785.88.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Approval of expenditure over $15,000 for new middle school PE equipment.
Thank you. The administrative team and the physical education department for the new middle school would like to request purchasing physical education equipment. Their recommendation is to purchase the physical education equipment from U.S. Games, who submitted the lowest cost and can provide all of the equipment requested for $29,303.61. Four quotes were requested, but only 3 companies submitted information to be considered. I'll be happy to try to answer any questions.
And there again, that'll keep us equal with everything that.
It will.
the school has.
That's installation too, correct?
So that's for the next one. Yes, yeah. So this is just like balls
that.
and batting tees
Oh,
and things
okay.
like that,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, sorry.
These really cool scooters that go across the floor, so, yeah.
The what?
They're like scooters that the kids race across the floor, that they get on.
Oh,
They
they
sit
get
on
on.
and they kind of, yeah.
Well, I'm not familiar with these
That's a
scooters.
lot of whistle balls, huh?
That is a lot of money for equipment, but I know equipment's expensive. Okay, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move approval be given to purchase of physical education equipment for the new middle school from U.S. Games in the amount of $29,303.61.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We should have gotten Molly to demonstrate this. I would like to see.
I wish I had one, they're really cool.
We'll let you go try them out. You can get on the
Yeah,
floor
right,
and
yeah,
scoot
right.
around.
No, pass.
Approval of expenditure over $15,000 for new middle school weight room equipment.
Thank you. The administrative team and the physical education department for the new middle school would like to request purchasing weight room equipment. Their recommendation is to purchase the weight room equipment from BSN Sports in the amount of $33,858.36, which includes installation. 4 quotes were received, and BSN Sports and Gym Source were the only companies to provide installation services. BSN Sports had the lowest quote for the equipment and installation. BSN was slightly higher than the lowest quote for the equipment only in the amount of $532.13. The benefit of having BSN Sports install the equipment gives the team peace of mind knowing the equipment was set up properly and ready for students on the first day of school. The quotes are listed below, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
These are all things that were included in
Budget.
setting up a new middle school, correct?
Yes. All of this equipment is available at the middle school, and it's available at Warren and Skyline High School as well, so.
But it's 15,000 over,
Right,
so,
it's over
but it's still in the budget for the school.
Right, we
Yes.
prepared for it.
Madam Chairman, I move approval be given to purchase weight room equipment and installation for the new middle school from BSN Sports in the amount of $33,858.36.
Second. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Still can't figure out how they get 36 cents of equipment. Looks like you round that up.
Motion carries. Approval of expenditure over $15,000 for new middle school scoreboard.
All right, only 20 more items. Just kidding. 2. I would like to request approval be given to purchase 2 scoreboards for the new middle school gymnasium from Daktronics in the amount of $16,430. The cost of the scoreboards includes installation and the control console kit. If approved, the scoreboards will be installed late May 2017. The scoreboards were budgeted for in the new middle school furniture, fixtures, and equipment budget. Daktronics has a current Virginia state purchasing contract.
No? Any comments or motion?
Madam Chair, I move the approval be given to purchase 2 scoreboards for the new middle school gymnasium from Daktronics in the amount of $16,430.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. One more, Mrs. Shepherd.
Thank you.
First reading, February 2017 VSBA School Board Policy Updates.
Can I ask one question about the equipment? I noticed the last one mentioned it, but the others, do they have timelines included?
They'll be,
So that, they'll be there and, you know, one group is not trying to move stuff in and install it and blocking another group.
Everything's going to be delivered in July. So, yes.
Yes, they will be climbing over
Yes,
top of
they will
each
be.
other. or
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
A lot of schools, they'll look at us.
they'll manage it
They're with
with her hard hat on.
a sonic drill putting in.
Okay. Policy update.
All right. In February 2017, VSBA submitted 18 policies for consideration by the Warren County School Board. A chart showing all of the updated policies has been prepared by staff members, noting the proposed changes. An additional 7 policies are presented for review, but have no recommended revisions. As this is the first reading of the proposed changes, there will be an opportunity to discuss the changes at the April 19th work session. Final approval of the changes is scheduled for the May 5th, 2017 meeting. I just want to bring attention to one of the policies. It's GAH. That is the only new policy that has been recommended, and it regards school employee conflict of interest. And the law is already in place. The policy just follows the law. All of the other policies were mainly just code updates or legal reference updates. So, but I'll be happy to answer any questions you have at the work session. And all of the policies have been put on board docs for community review.
Great. Okay.
Thank you.
No action required for that. Discussions by school board. There's the upcoming VSBA School Law Conference on Friday, June the 2nd, in Richmond, or Short Comp, which is right
Same
there.
difference.
Richmond.
Same difference.
Same
Yes.
difference.
So if anyone is interested in attending that, please let Mr. Valentine know. Is there any further business? If not, we need to go into closed session. May I have a motion?
This motion is made that the open public meeting of the Warren County School Board become a closed meeting pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711. The school board desires to discuss the following matter in a closed meeting. Section 2.2-3711A1, discussion, consideration, or interviews of prospective candidates for employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, disciplining, or resignation of employees of the school board, specifically an employee personnel issue. Be it resolved that the School Board of Warren County does hereby authorize discussion in closed meeting of the matters identified herein.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Valentine, please call roll.
Mrs. McEachran,
Yes.
Mr. Wells,
Yes.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Mr. Rosen,
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Motion carries. We are in closed session. Thank you all.